afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for staying till the end of the event. And thank you, TOKEN2049, for giving me the opportunity to talk about something that's actually outside of the commercial spectrum, but I think is really important for the future of blockchain. So my name is Nydia Zhang. I am the co-founder and chairman of Social Alpha Foundation. I graduated from University of Washington, and before starting Social Alpha, I was in the art world and also support several charities in Hong Kong. So I am the fundraising committee member for Hong Kong Society of the Protection of Children, which is one of the most historical Hong Kong charities. The charity itself has 90 years of history, and then we build education center and also homes for children in disadvantaged situation in Hong Kong. And I'm also on the global patron board for San Francisco Museums of Modern Art, and also I got myself involved in the FinTech Association of Hong Kong. So the experience I just mentioned really gave me a different insight and perspective when you think about the philanthropy and the charity industry in Hong Kong. So my story with blockchain started around 2015. Actually, the first time I heard about blockchain is through my husband, Jehan Chu, who's actually sitting next to me, and he's also the managing partner for Kenetic and also the co-founder of Social Alpha Foundation. So I bought my Bitcoin and Ether around 2016, and then starting from that, I started to invest and trade until now. So as someone has been spent basically the past 2 years witness how this brand new industry grow and developed, I certainly have a lot to say. I have seen this kind of like underground fintech culture starting from several people, 10 people at the meetup, and then right now I have to say it's a social phenomenon. And I'm sure everybody that's been here for the past 2 days have to see how much of an interest, of a capital that has been pouring in this industry every single day. The volume and people and the wealth is unimaginable. But there's also a problem. The problem is that even though blockchain or Bitcoin has been widely discussed in the past 2 years, but people's perception and understanding towards blockchain and blockchain technology and even blockchain community are still very fixed by the market and by the price. People seem to be neglected, and people seem to not getting the full image of what is the really underlying technology blockchain can offer. And then you start to see medias, like I saw this New York Times article, and the headline is, everybody in the blockchain world is getting ridiculously rich, but you are not. And so this kind of message that was actually being sent to the public can be really misleading. And the consequence, I'm sure everybody knows, at best, we are a speculative bubble. At worst, we are just a bunch of people that runs Ponzi schemes. But everybody's here, and we know that this is just not true, right? So blockchain can offer is definitely more than just a few coins and just a few markets. Blockchain actually stands the potential to create the next generation of prosperity. And it's important for everybody in this room, everybody in the community start to realize that the importance of reshape, I reintroduce the image of blockchain. But the story I want to share with all of you today, and also is a story that why I started Social Alpha Foundation, is actually a personal story. So that actually comes from a personal interaction with my friend, Alia Iris. So Alia is the CEO of this Hong Kong charity called Mother's Choice. And Mother's Choice is an amazing charity that they help children without families and also pregnant Hong Kong teenagers. So Alia used to be a lawyer, and then she left her job and dedicated her entire life in helping those kids in need. So one day we were supposed to meet for coffee, and Alia showed up half an hour late. And when she walked in, she apologized. She said, "Sorry, Nydia, I got stuck in court and had a really bad day." So I asked her why. I said, "What happened?" So she's like, so I was in court today defending on behalf of these 2 girls who were unfortunately the victim of rape. They were raped in a public toilet in Hong Kong. And after the incident happened, those 2 girls went to the police station, filed a report. But when Alia started to look into their cases, she found out that this is actually not the first time they were assaulted. And turns out they were abused multiple times on different occasions by their family and other members. And each time when this horrible tragedy happened to them, they will go to the police station and file a report. But now the problem started to come up as that when you see this kind of like repeated pattern of assault happen to those 2 girls, and the court cannot and was unable to gather all the information that they need. And the reason is that even though every time they went to the police station, they filed a report, but those files were actually stored in different departments, in different jurisdictions, which means they were just existing in totally different database. So what happened to Alia that day is that when she was standing in court trying to help, trying to gain the protection that those 2 girls deserve, she found out she was not able to because she was unable to demonstrate the whole pattern of abuse, the whole trace of the abuse history of those girls have suffered. And so for me, when I heard about this story, in my perspective is that this, of course, in this case, every party has a certain responsibilities, but it's actually the broken database infrastructure that so many systems are still using lead to this result. And it's also come to clear that blockchain can potentially provide a solution or a tool because it's transparency, because it's accountability, because it's immutability, and help people, organizations like Mother's Choice, people like those 2 girls, because we know every day so many people are in their similar situations. And also we are be able to help people like Alia, then those people are already at the front line fighting for people in need to do their jobs better. So in late last year, we founded Social Alpha Foundation. And Social Alpha Foundation, we are a non-for-profit grant-making foundation that we focus on supporting blockchain education and also empower communities to come together and utilize blockchain technology for social good. We have 2 arms. One is we support education program, and the other is that we fund blockchain applications that focus on social welfare issues. And we are fortunate enough to gain many support, not only from inside the blockchain community, but also from other industries. And for our grantee project, we funded one project that's called Ampli, which is a student sovereign ID project in South Africa. That's a project that they collaborate with local charities to build school. So every time when the student was registered into school, they will be given a digital identity. And what that means is that there is a group of invisible populations. Right now, every time they get support, they will be giving a proof of identity, and so that piece of information can tell people who they are. And our second grantee project is actually a collaboration with Blockchain at Berkeley. So Blockchain at Berkeley is the student-led organizations that focusing on education, consulting, and also ICO advisory. But they are fully student-run organizations, and we think it's really great example to show to the Hong Kong ecosystem, to show to the universities about how in the next generation we can implement blockchain into our society. And so I think that is my set of story. And right now I am just gonna sit down with the co-founder of Social Foundation, and then we talk about more.
Yeah, I think it's an amazing story, and the only thing I would really want to add to that from our perspective is really the call to action for the community itself. Really, where this comes from is from a place of trying to influence and also get support from all of you. What we're hoping for beyond the actual funding of these projects is actually to try and infect and support all of us with this DNA of giving and this DNA of generosity and philanthropy. The idea here is that we're so early in this space that all of us, if we take on this idea that as we build businesses, as we profit from these businesses, as we iterate, we're actually able to give back at the same time, we can create the same type of flow in and out of our ecosystem that crypto economics is intended to achieve. It's not just about taking value out of the system, it's about making sure you put value back in so that it circulates. So I think from our perspective, that's really what we're trying to achieve. And for all of you out there, we hope that you'll visit the website. We'll hope that you'll get involved if you would like to support us by recommending projects or even taking on projects yourself that will achieve address some type of social impact using blockchain technology. That's really what we're hoping for from all of you. Spreading the word and really trying to take on a greater responsibility as a community as we all kind of develop this new internet. So I guess with that, if there are any other kind of comments?
Well, we will definitely encourage everybody in here, and then hopefully you guys can have a little takeaway, and even just, I don't know, even just one day you think about, oh, maybe when you think about blockchain, you can think about blockchain for social impact aspect, and maybe create something good for the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much.